How's it going, guys? Today, I'm going to talk about 6 separate glass animations with the goal that you can walk away from this video and be able to make so many more of your own glass, really beautiful stylized animations. So I'm going to go over my thought process, like why did I pick certain shapes, material settings, tips and tricks, and I'm going to talk about some render settings as well. Now, before we jump into it, these 3 animations that I'm going to be talking in the video, they are currently available as tutorials here on YouTube, and I will link those in the description. And these animations are exclusively available on Patreon, but I still will be breaking them down here in this video. So if you want to check any of these full tutorials out, they are available. If you want to join the Patreon, there is a ton of exclusive content, project files, and tutorials and breakdowns. So if you want to check that out, that is going to be linked in the description, and you can get a discount if you subscribe annually. So all of these tutorials, except for the wires one, have a single thing in common. We're using glass objects in combination with smooth emissive textures, and the glass objects are going to bend the texture and make a really cool effect. There are no lights, the textures are the light. The trick with all of these is pairing the right texture with the right object and making something really cool. All right, so let's look at this first one. It's my favorite one of the bunch. The glass objects here act like a magnifying glass for the material beneath it. Now, it's pretty easy to make a grid of interlocking spheres. You first get an array modifier to go one direction, and then you get a second array modifier to go the opposite direction, and then you just take those settings and offset them. In kind of a rare moment for this YouTube channel, you don't need geometry nodes for this at all, and it makes something really cool pretty quick. Now, for the emissive material on the bottom, at first I tried out a noise texture and with the W animation, and it was really cool, especially if you scale up the texture. I didn't really love the movement. Now then, I took that grid and I tried out a wave texture at a really large scale. This is kind of my hack for making animatable gradients. You just take a wave texture and now you have a gradient. I liked how the gradient kind of bended around the spheres, especially with just a straight up and down one. It looks really cool. Now, this whole thing got a lot cooler when I added a high value to the distortion, played with the phase offset, and it just looked really cool. It had the same speed and cadence of the straight line, but had a little bit more variation and unpredictability to this whole animation. Now keep in mind, the smaller you make the scale, the better this is going to look to a point. So like this is a large scale, doesn't really look that good. So if you bring it down to like 0.7, it looks really good. But if you bring it down to like 0.1, you're gonna get way bigger, which this might be something you're looking for, but I want more variation. 0.7 for me looked really good and really beautiful. Last thing I'll say about these is one thing that makes these really beautiful is as the texture animates in, you get this interesting movement. So the texture is traveling this direction on the object, but you still get, you can see as it's traveling outward, you get some highlights right here. So you get to appreciate the whole object as it's kind of bending around the object. And I just think it's really beautiful. And then you get kind of that secondary motion with some of these reflections, and it all is just really nice. This next one is a ribbed glass, and originally I tried to just use a wave texture to displace the glass, but I didn't like how these sharp edges showed up. I really felt like I was fighting the texture, and the references I was looking at, this didn't match it. It just wasn't up to the quality that I wanted it to be. The thing that's going to make or break this ribbed glass is going to be bevel and thickness of the glass object that's in front of the emissive texture. So having a much thicker object like this with a full bevel modifier on it is really going to make this look a lot better. And then of course, all it needs is an array modifier. Now this one looks best with a noise texture and a color ramp, and you can get something really cool right off the gate. But smoothing it out makes it look a lot better. So if you take a color ramp, switch it over to B-spline, but you still get some gray. You're gonna need 3 nodes, 2 of them set to black, so that you can control the dark point and you get something really, really cool. Also within the mapping, if you also squish the texture to complement the ribs of the glass, you're gonna get something really, really beautiful. And also recommend a little bit of distortion on the noise, then go ahead and just add whatever color you want in there, and really, really fast, you can get something very beautiful and very elegant. I would bring the detail down to 0, just keep a classic noise texture with a really smooth color ramp. And if you animate the W, it looks incredibly beautiful. Now, this one's a good example of being really intentional about where the emissive material is in relation to the glass. How close is it? If I take the plane and just put it right in the middle of the glass, it's going to look like this. And then as I move it further beneath the glass, you're going to get more of these really beautiful spots. So right where it's dark, you're going to see it bend up and down in those spots where it's black. But what happens is if you bring it too far down, it gets too much, it gets really muddy, and it just kind of is really overstimulating to the eye. So if I bring it back to 0, if I bring the Z back to 0 and just start to bring it down, we can find a perfect spot where we get these beautiful bend moments, get to appreciate the ribbed glass, and have this noise texture that's getting bent by the glass, and it's really cool. Now, this animation is really cool and incredibly simple. So if you go ahead and get a really tall cylinder and you go ahead and shrink down this bottom face so it kind of looks like a baseball bat, you can get a circular array and very quickly get something cool. The material beneath it is just a wave texture set to these settings, rings and spherical, and then you get a really low scale and you get something that looks like this. This is another example of switching ease to B-spline on the color ramp is going to give you a much better gradient. That circular wave texture is going to complement the circular array. So when you play with that offset, the animation just makes sense and it's super, super satisfying. So this is a great example. Finding textures that complement the shape that you're working with can really make these look really cool. Now, like I mentioned earlier, where that texture is, how close it is to the bottom of this glass will really, really change the way it looks. I think the coolest thing about this texture is as this texture goes farther and farther beneath, you start to get this huge bend right between where the wave texture starts and stops. It bends really aggressively. So this is going to be where do I want the bend to stop and where do I want it to start? Probably right around here. Then again, you just go ahead and pick a really nice color and you have a really, really beautiful glass animation where the glass completely transforms the way this wave texture looks and makes it look really beautiful. All right, now this one is a really cool lesson in simplicity because the only light that's affecting this whole thing is this gradient. So when you have these spherical glass objects in front of this gradient, it actually kind of flips the gradient upside down and creates this contrast where the dark portions of the gradient have this bright portion of the sphere and vice versa. You have the bright portion, dark portion here, and it creates a really, really beautiful effect where you have this nice contrast. So it's the movement of the objects where they're fighting the gradient behind it makes something really, really beautiful. And then all I did was there's a much larger emissive object behind it that's kind of reinforcing our highlights to make it kind of like a layer weight effect. Much, much bigger light, making something really, really cool, super simple. Now, you also might notice there's a little bit of an RGB effect. You can see right here and right here in the glass. And if you've never made glass with some chromatic aberration, let me quickly show you how to do that. So if you just have a glass BSDF node on these objects, it actually looks pretty freaking cool on its own. Maybe the roughness of like 0.2, it's really cool. What you want to do is get an add shader and then get another add shader and then get a total of 3 glass nodes and plug them all together. Then in order from top, make the top one red, the middle one green, bottom one blue. The trick is going to be offsetting the IOR to reveal the color. So the top one, IOR of 1.45, and now you're starting to see it. And then the blue one is going to be IOR of 1.58, and now you get an RGB effect. And that's just that easy. It is going to increase your render times because it makes things noisy, but I think it's worth it. It's really pretty. Now, a quick geometry nodes lesson. If you want to know how to make these spheres that kind of blend and blob into each other. You're going to start in geometry nodes, and first you're going to go ahead and get an object, and then you can go ahead and convert that object into a volume. With another node, you're going to distribute some points within that volume, and then you can use a noise texture in a set position to move those points around. Then you're going to convert those points to an SDF grid, and then convert them back to geometry. After that, you can just focus on subdividing it to make it look really smooth, smooth out the geometry, and fix the normals so when they blend together, it looks really nice. And you have essentially kind of old school metaballs. If you want a full tutorial on this, again, it is linked in the description, free here on YouTube. Now this one's super cool, but it pretty much draws upon everything we've already talked about in this video. So there's not a whole lot that's new, but what's really cool about it is what happens when you have these emissive smooth textures behind a ton of glass. Because when we're looking at all this glass, the stacked glass from an angle, it's going to move that texture around and bend through the glass, and it looks really, really cool. So you don't just need to use a stack of sort of like these planks. You can use a stack of different objects and see how the glass bends that texture around it. Now this one's a lot like the ribbed glass, where if you have like a really far crunched in texture where there's a lot of empty space, it doesn't quite look as good as when you can actually bring a lot of that texture back, have some of these highlights, and really just enjoy the sort of relationship between the highlights and the dark portions of the texture, and really makes it look really beautiful. So this looks better when the texture is really full and there's not a whole lot of dark negative space. Now this animation demonstrates a very simple trick with these glass animations. At its very core, all you need is some kind of emissive texture, really smooth noise texture, a wave texture, something like that. Hide it from the camera and import an object, and right off the gate, you're going to get something that looks really cool. And then when you animate that texture with the glass, it's going to bend it around, get these really beautiful highlights. And as you move around the object and move around the texture, you can get some really, really cool things pretty quickly, very simply. And it's all about beautiful, smooth textures, very lightly rough glass. Now this last one is entirely different from all the other ones. It's this wire animation, but I wanted to show you quickly how to get glass wires with a really cool glowing texture in the middle of them. What you need to do is get an array of strings, and then in geometry nodes, you can use a set position to displace those strings. Now, if you use this tube node, it has a UV, so we can throw a wave texture on that string and it will automatically map perfectly. It's a really cool shortcut. Then you can adjust the phase and you get these tubes to be moving. And then all you need to do is go back to that original curve, duplicate it, make it thicker than the one with the emissive material, and then just use a simple glass material on that, and you get a really, really cool effect. Now, you don't have to do it in geometry nodes, but anytime you're dealing with curves that you can make one thicker, one thinner, make the thinner one emission, the thicker one glass, you have a really cool tube. Now, a ton of you wanted to know the render settings on these glass animations, how to make them look really cool, but to get them to render quick. When you are using smooth textures, very kind of really not very detailed, and these are really smooth, not very detailed animations, you can get away with a really low sample count. So in my case, if I go here to my render settings, I'm actually rendering this at 150 samples. And then right here in my light paths, I have a total of 3, diffuse 0, glossy 3, transmission 3, volume 0, transparent 0. And then you just turn off the caustics. You don't really need them and they don't look that great, especially not here. So it's that simple. And then I'm going to go ahead and render an image at 1080p. And we're looking at a 2-second render. Depending on your computer, your render times will be longer or shorter. But especially if you're animating like this one with a wave texture, you can get away with rendering 80 frames, low sample, low light bounce, and it's gonna be really, really fast because these are smooth textures, smooth glass, and it's gonna look really cool. And just make sure to denoise it, and you're done. So there you guys go. Hopefully you learned something from this overview. These are very simple, pretty approachable glass animations. So I kind of designed this whole series to kind of get you something that's easy to do right off the gate. So hopefully you enjoy those. Again, we have 3 of those animations here on YouTube you can watch for free. And then these 3 animations you can get exclusively on Patreon and check out those project files as well. So if you want to check that out, that's linked in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.